Angus Cloud, the main reason to what it seems, right, his passing, was due to his father passing.
I can still remember how quiet everything got.
Jeez.
The day he passed. Like, you could hear a freaking pin drop in China.
Sympathize with others' feelings. I always get confused with sympathize and empathize.
Yeah, sympathize is like, it's not the actual empathize is like you do feel it, and sympathy is like more compassion for it. But I mean, when it's warranted, yes, but I'd say like most of the time, like no, like a 2, because I understand, like, you know, I don't always, I can never 100% know how anyone is feeling, like, at the end of the day. Like, sometimes people, like, I've talked to people and, like, their loved one just died the day before, and sometimes it's just their Starbucks order just got wrong and now they're in a mood. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but, you know, your feelings, it's very hard for your feelings to dictate your reality. When certain things had happened to me, like, as far as, like, you know, a certain loved one of mine passed away not too long ago, it's like, yeah, this is a real bummer. But feeling this way isn't going to change anything. All we can do is move forward. So what I'm going to do is use this as a reason and not an excuse. And it's not a good idea to stay stagnant either in your feelings. You need to manage them, hopefully get over them, and then that's that. Because the longer you stay, it's like the, what is it, law of diminishing intent. Like, if you intend on doing something and the longer you put it off or procrastinate, actually, the less likely you are actually to do it. That's why impulse is such a huge thing. But being able to recognize, hey, I'm feeling a certain way, let's see what we can do about it and fix it and do it. Like, start, like, not, it doesn't have to be fixed tonight or tomorrow or in a week, but take steps.
One of the things I just wanted to add, one of the things I think is really, really interesting, and not to, obviously you shared your story, so we understand the context. And for those who don't know, Angus Cloud, the main reason to what it seems, right, his passing, was due to his father passing. And that is a similar situation to you as well, where you've had your father who had passed. But the approach you took was a little bit different. It seems like you definitely took the more of like, okay, see this as an opportunity to do something, right? Try to make the most out of the situation, try to see the positives of that situation. But what do you know, if people are going through this really dark side, you know, especially, I think that's, man, as you might probably can relate, you know, how would you best suggest someone to go through that who may be going through something similar?
I think my best piece, my best piece of advice for people like that is to,
like a young man who had, like, you know what I'm saying, a very similar situation.
Sure.
What has helped you, or what do you suggest for someone who may have lost a loved one, especially a father figure, because that's a big thing for a boy.
Yeah. No, it's terrible. And I mean, you know, obviously one day you are going to bury your dad, and unfortunately in our situations, I guess, it happened way earlier than we'd wanted to, or ever wanted to. And I would say the most important thing is having some kind of routine and some kind of healthy, like, habit or solution to, like, fill in that gap a little bit. Like, please stay away from drugs unless you absolutely have to, and there's no other option. Like, I think that's a big issue nowadays too. It's just we're very quick to just go on the what are they called, the opioids. Everyone's really quick to go on the opioids or on the antidepressants. It's like you need to make sure that you try everything else. You shouldn't be messing with brain chemistry right away. You should, like, hey, get a good night's rest, take a shower, do something, make yourself something nice to eat and treat yourself. You know, go out, have some fun with some friends. You just had a horrible experience. So replace that with positive experiences. I think that'll help. And you know what? Maybe you're not going to be feeling the same. Obviously, I would not expect you to feel the same when you're going out and doing everything. No one really is. But that's just how it is. Like no one can truly prepare you for a loved one's death. No, like even though I knew that my dad was eventually going to pass, like it was a horrible disease and we could see the decline and everything. It's like I can still remember how quiet everything got.
Jeez.
The day he passed. Like you could hear a freaking pin drop in China. Like that's how quiet it was. Like it just felt like everything stood completely still, and I was like, wow, this is real. You don't expect anything usually in the movies, you always expect something to happen or like some sort of sign or whatever, but it literally just, and I'm almost shocked by how like there's nothing there. There's no theatrics, there's no cinematography to it. It just happens. But I would say, yeah, the most important thing is just to find something that's going to help fill in that gap. I mean, they do that with like drug addicts all the time or smokers. They usually pick up something that's like for smokers, instead of smoking, they'll give them like a fidget spinner or something or like a popper so they can get over the mechanical, because the chemical goes away pretty quickly. But the mechanical stuff, they give you something, or they're just eating chips all the time, doing something with their hands or whatever. Do something that's going to like kind of replace all the negativity with a positive motion. So if it's going to the gym, it's just walking outside, taking everything in, or just praying or meditating for like 5 minutes every day, or just writing a word down in a journal. Like do something. Don't do drugs. Not to beat a dead horse, just don't do drugs unless you absolutely have to.